Happy Tuesday. I am so glad that you're here. For the month of March, we're going to be talking about how we see Jesus in the everyday, in our everyday lives. And it starts with a relationship with Him. It starts with how we approach life and how we approach our life with Him. I was reading in the Daily Encouraging Word. It's a devotional that I get online Monday through Friday. And it was as though they were speaking directly to me. When I was a younger Christ follower, when I was someone who was newer in my faith, and just starting to develop that real relationship with God, I still was living in works instead of grace. And by that I mean I felt like if I messed up, if I didn't have a perfect day, if I failed or if I did something wrong, that God was going to shoot me with a thunderbolt or a lightning bolt, or He was going to punish me in some way. That was the way that I lived. That was my mindset at that time. And I want to read to you from that devotional because it felt like they were speaking directly to me and talking about how I used to live. And it said, I spent my life working so hard trying to please God that the thought of simply enjoying Him had not occurred to me at all. I am so glad that God introduced me to my prayer partner, and she started to show me again how God wants fun in our lives, how we're supposed to be living from grace instead of from works. And that's a discussion that we'll have on another day. Because that's a discussion in and of itself. But when I started to introduce fun back into my life, it made such a difference. It was huge. That's one of the reasons why I started Jesus in the Everyday membership. And that's why the verse for Jesus in the Everyday membership is John 10:10. It says, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. That's what Jesus wants us to have. And that's what I want to share with you today is during the month of March, we're going to talk about the different ways that we can build that relationship with God, get rid of the religious rules, and just simply learn how to enjoy Him. One of the ways that that devotional ended was I learned that God wanted me to enjoy Him in the life He had given for me. And that is so true. So during the month of March, we're going to talk about the Sabbath, why keeping that holy is so important. We're going to talk about learning how to work from our own pace instead of feeling pressured to work from other people's paces. And when we can do that, and when we can get to that point where we are focused less on the rules, when we are able to open up and just enjoy the life that God has given us, that is when that abundance comes through. And that is when we're able to then look up and see Jesus in our everyday life. And when we see Him like that, then it truly blesses us because we realize how many blessings that He gives us that had gone unnoticed. They were always there, but now we're actually seeing them, recognizing them, and then thanking Him for them. So that's the tidbit that I wanted to share with you today. Come back next week. We're going to delve into that a little bit more. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you would, I'd love it if you would subscribe. Then you can get notified of any additional videos, or you can get notified every time I post one on Tuesdays. And I also wanted to touch base a little bit and talk about Adventure's Invitation. That is the first book in my fiction series. I am knee deep in writing book 6 right now, and I'm so excited. Book 6 ties everybody together, ties the whole series up. So Adventure's Invitation, this starts out with Holly and her whole family in Parrottville, Indiana. And then by the end of the book, she ends up moving to Green Pines, Michigan. And that's all I'm going to tell you about that. I'm not going to tell you why she moves or how she moves or any of the details in between. But you get to really be introduced to Holly, find out her story. You get to know her family really well. She has an older brother, Sean, a younger brother, Jeremy, and a best friend, Amanda. And you just get to find out everything about her, why she does what she does, the decisions that she made, and the reasons behind them. And if you're like me and you love fiction and fiction characters become your friends, then I would love to introduce you to Holly and her family in Adventure's Invitation. You can buy it on Amazon. It's also in Kindle Unlimited, so you can get it that way. So yeah, And then if you want to check out my website, sherryswalwell.com, the links are are down below. And you can check out the membership that way. You can check out the Cheer Up podcast. We post new episodes every Wednesday for the Cheer Up podcast. And just check it out, see what works for you, and enjoy. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next week.